Assalamu alaikum everyone. So today's talk will be about a rather Christian celebration, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. Christmas. Now back maybe 1,000 years ago, northern tribes and people were suffering from the cold, losing family members and suffering hypothermia, etc. And in the far northern areas like Alaska, Canada, Norway and Russia, they had extra amounts of this weather in December. They didn't have central heating. They had no proper shelter. In the north, all the way back then, it was very hard to access or build shelter. Their only source of heat was the sun. Every year at this period, all they would wish for was the sun, because that's actually where most of the heat comes from. That there was still some source of heat, and they believed that it was from a tree called the evergreen tree. It's also called the fir tree. It's literally a tree that they believed gave heat and life. What they would do was take these trees and place it where they live. Maybe put a light on top or a mistletoe too. They would leave some of the tree in front of where they lived, as they believed it could protect them and such. And there were ceremonies around it, and this carried on for hundreds of years. The northern countries always had ceremonies around the mistletoe and fir tree, and they God, you made me. And this carried on for hundreds of years. The northern countries, so they had a secretive cult that was spread all across the north about some certain individual. His name was Mithra and Mithras. He was a very mysterious character. If you look at history, you'll find that he was actually born on December 25th. His day of the week was the 7th day of the week, that we still call Sunday. The northern people thought he was the son of the sun god himself, and they would have a special ceremony of bread and wine, and he supposedly died for the sins of the people. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Now let's dive out of that subject. An often asked question is, how should Muslim children react to Christmas? And I kind of have the answer to that question.
Is it some stupid celebration that no one likes?
No.
No one likes it.
No. People do like it, Christians. So
I don't like it.
people for gifts, you know. Quite a number of Muslims today, especially those living in Christian-dominated countries or those influenced to a large degree by Western culture, have been led to consider that taking part in Christmas celebrations of friends and relatives is, at very least, a harmless pastime, if not a legitimate source of pleasure for children and adults alike. The foremost thing to realize is that Christmas is a big innovation, which is leading a big part of humanity to associating partners with God. Christianity has transgressed the limits set by Allah. Therefore, showing happiness and joy on Christmas, Halloween, Easter, and Good Friday is like shaking hands with Satan and telling him to carry on the good work. The most obvious reason we don't celebrate Christmas is that Muslims don't celebrate Christmas because we believe that Jesus isn't God or the Son of God. We believe that he was a prophet, and that celebrating Christmas would be celebrating Jesus as a God, and that it is completely haram, and associating anyone with God except Allah is a grave sin. Now in the Quran, Isa alayhi salam says, "Surely Allah is my Lord and your Lord, so worship him alone. This is the right path." So do not take part in Christmas activities or decorate your house. This is done by people who associate man to Allah and commit shirk. If you do any of these acts, you risk standing next to the people who commit shirk in front of Allah at the Day of Judgment. He does not forgive anyone who commits shirk. When you wish Merry Christmas to someone, you agree that Isa was born on the 25th of December and that he's the Son of God. I'm literally telling you guys that saying Merry Christmas is wrong. Let's say a friend said Merry Christmas to you, and you think it would be nice to say Merry Christmas back to them, wouldn't you? Just to be friendly, you know. But for reaching any good means, you don't have to adopt a wrong mean.
You can just say thank you.
Plus, there is strong proof in both the Quran and the Bible that Isa was not even born on the 25th of December, but instead in midsummer.
Yeah, he was.
Christmas these days is just for making money and for advertisement purposes.
It's business.
Yeah,
It's business and it's racism by saying Jesus is God.
that's not really racism. Anywho,
You know.
let me tell you a true story, yeah? In school, me and my friend Tawheed, we did a little social experiment with people in my school. What we did was go to atheists or people that didn't have a religion, and we asked them if they celebrated Christmas or not. If they responded yes, we asked them, do you believe in Jesus? Around 80% of the children that said they don't believe in Jesus said that they actually celebrated Christmas. So this is another proof that we're literally just celebrating Christmas for the gifts, for the food, for the niceness. They claim it's for giving, but it's more getting, isn't it?
It's better to give on Christmas than get.
Yeah. But
Like sending money to the reason.
alright, so hopefully you.
But I kind of disagree with one of your points. Like, if someone was to say to you Merry Christmas, it's not like it's not like if you say it back to them, it's not like you're celebrating it or meaning. You're just saying it to be polite. And I know many of my friends are Christians as well would say Eid Mubarak to me, and so I'd say it to them, and they'd say it to me, and so it's not like. So I wouldn't say that it's haram to say it, and if you believe in it, then if you believe when you say it that it's true, then yeah. But I wouldn't say just blatantly saying it.
Let's say you had a friend that had some sort of family ritual, yeah? They would eat loads of pork. You're basically telling me he invited you over to your house. Oh, you eat pork just to be nice, don't you? You do something haram just to be nice with someone else. Is that what you're trying to tell me? You.
I disagree with him because, say for example, said Merry Christmas to someone, and they're a Muslim, and the person who said Merry Christmas is a Christian. That Muslim came over to his friend's house.
Yeah.
And just because he wanted some gifts for Christmas, he had to eat pork, and that's haram.
I know.
You can get halal.
It's wrong to do something haram for something good. You always do the right thing for the right thing.
Like,
Is there any more questions?
Wait for me.
Any more questions?
Seriously, no more questions
questions?
about
Please say
Christmas?
no.
Any?
please say no.
Me.
Me.
MashaAllah, a very good talk on the anti-Judaism of Christmas. So a very good talk on how it's wrong to Islam.
I got coming.
Just let him answer one.
Mashallah, that was a very good talk and inspirational talk.
Inspiration. Thank you.
And devastation.
End it now. End it. No, just end it.
Missed it. I was out there speaking to them all.
Just end it. No.
Should we end it now?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alright. That's the end of the talk. Assalamu
Allah
alaikum. Thank you for watching
See you
the Christmas.
see you in 2022.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for watching the Islamic Talk SL Christmas special. So we should end with the dua. Alright. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر